Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Monday the 19th of June. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and friends.
Reach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. Sudeen Mason, the mother of the late 80-year-old Daniel Rowe, broke down in tears after viewing her daughter's body at the Tranquility Funeral Home today during a post-mortem examination. The autopsy revealed that Daniel died from complications related to an incised wound to her neck. The police in St. Elizabeth are in pursuit of 8 detainees who escaped from the Black River police station on Monday morning. Among the escapees are Anwar Hines and Javon Sims, who were detained on a murder charge, while Duar Williams and Kenneth Stewart were in custody for illegal possession of a firearm. The other escapees are Oral Cole, Richard Brown, and Alric Hutchinson, who are facing a charge of robbery, while Dean Simpson was detained on robbery and rape charges. It is understood that 4 of the men were seen walking on Central Road in Black River. A report was made to the police, which prompted a check of the cell block. It was only then that it was discovered that the men had escaped. Prosecutors have presented their final submissions in the appeal case involving Tesha Miller. The prosecutors urged the court to order a retrial if Miller's conviction is quashed. The possibility of a retrial arose due to 2 issues concerning the interpretation of the legislation under which Miller was convicted. The Director of Public Prosecutions argued that the grounds of appeal from Miller's defense team lacked merit and requested that the convictions and sentences be upheld. However, if the court finds an error of law resulting in a miscarriage of justice, the prosecution proposed a retrial given the substantial evidence available. There is a provision in the Appellate Jurisdiction Act that allows for a retrial if the court considers it necessary in the interest of justice. Miller's legal team has argued for his release based on the acquittal of the alleged shooter Andre Blackman Bryan, contending that an accessory before the fact cannot be properly convicted unless the principal offender has been convicted. A confrontation between alleged car thieves and the police officers has resulted in the fatal shooting of one of the men in St. Andrew on Friday night. It is understood that the incident occurred around 7 p.m. on Burlington Avenue in the parish. A police source said the police were alerted to the attempted motor vehicle robbery and responded. However, the incident quickly escalated when one man was shot and killed, while the others made good their escape. The police recovered the stolen motor car on Burlington Avenue. The identity of the deceased man or the number of persons who attempted to rob the vehicle was not revealed. Detectives assigned to the St. Andrew South Criminal Investigations Branch are seeking the public's assistance in identifying the body of a man who was fatally shot on Atlantic Boulevard in Seaview Gardens on Sunday. The police say the body is of brown complexion, medium build, and is about 5 feet 7 inches tall, appears to be in his mid-20s and has a cornrow hairstyle. The body was clad in a grey t-shirt, blue jeans, and white Reebok shoes. It is reported that about 12:05 a.m., residents heard explosions and summoned the police. On arrival, the deceased was seen lying on the roadway with gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at hospital. The police have broadened their investigation of 2 cops implicated in a multi-million-dollar home invasion robbery, amid claims that they are part of a band of road cops who are behind a string of high-stakes heists. Already, police commanders in several divisions are poring over months of robbery reports with a similar modus operandi to the $14 million heist at the St. Andrew home of a Chinese businessman on the 6th of June. In the caught-on-video incident, the 2 constables who are assigned to the St. Andrew South Police Division reportedly gained entry to the house by claiming that they were there to investigate a case of uncustomed goods. They were pointed out during an identification parade last week and will be interviewed in the presence of their attorneys. Men claiming to be cops used a similar ruse to gain entry into the Hopefield Avenue St. Andrew home of another Chinese businessman, where they stole approximately $20 million on the 3rd of March. The incident was also recorded by a home surveillance camera. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzbailey confirmed that detectives are conducting a very wide investigation, but declined to comment on allegations that the constables were part of a band of robbers. We have broadened our investigation. We are looking at reports of a similar nature to see if there are any relationships to previous cases, Bailey said. Fraud Squad detectives attached to the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, CTOC, are probing a major payroll fraud scheme at the University Hospital of the West Indies. 4 people who were collecting salaries under the guise that they were employees of the hospital have been arrested and charged. The accused were scheduled to appear in the St. Andrew Parish Court today. It is understood that almost $2 million has been defrauded under the scheme. The fraud was reportedly uncovered last year by internal auditors at the hospital. The police are continuing their investigation to identify employees of the hospital who may have been involved in the racket. Justice Vinette Graham Allen has stated that she will not change the trial date of September 18 for Portland businessman Everton Beachestout McDonald, who is accused of ordering the murder of one of his 2 wives. The trial date was set last October after McDonald was denied bail. He is charged with the murder of his second wife, Tonya Hamilton, whose throat was slashed in July of 2020. The trial readiness hearing was postponed to July 31st due to the absence of co-accused Oscar Barnes' lawyer. The prosecution and defense have agreed on certain documents, and the availability of witnesses for the trial will be confirmed. A third man, Denverlin Minot, has already pleaded guilty to Tonya's murder. McDonald is also accused of murdering his first wife, Merlene, but a trial date for that case has not yet been set. McDonald remains remanded, and his trial is expected to last 7 weeks, with multiple witnesses being called by both sides. A businessman was gunned down and his licensed firearm stolen in St. Anne's Bay on Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as 41-year-old Andrew Dawkins of Gully Road in St. Anne's Bay. Police report that Dawkins was in his community when he was pounced upon by unknown assailants who opened fire, hitting him. His licensed 9mm Glock pistol was reportedly stolen in the process. The police were called to the scene and he was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offenses and the Child Abuse (CISOCA) is advising parents to keep an eye on workmen in their homes following the rape of a 6-year-old girl in St. Anne. 51-year-old Clive Green has been charged with 2 counts of rape and 2 counts of grievous sexual assault after he allegedly assaulted the child in a St. Anne community on separate occasions this year. Green is a mason of Hamilton Mountain in St. Mary. It is reported that Green was hired for work at the child's home when he allegedly sexually assaulted and raped her on 2 separate occasions. A report was made to the police and Green was subsequently arrested and charged. His court date is being finalized. The body of a man was found in a gully in Farm Heights, St. James on Sunday. The deceased is of brown complexion, about 5 feet tall, medium built, and sports a cornrow hairstyle. It is reported that around 8 p.m., residents heard gunshots in the direction of a gully in the community. They went to investigate and stumbled upon the body of the man, which was lying in a pool of blood in the gully with multiple gunshot wounds. He was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. A 17-year-old male was shot dead by unknown assailants at his home in Green Pond, St. James on Saturday, June 17th. He has been identified as Daniel Sawyers, otherwise called Butty and the Seal. Reports from the Montego Bay police are that about 2 a.m., armed men invaded Sawyers' home. They reportedly took him from the house and opened gunfire, hitting him multiple times. The police were summoned and Sawyers was found lying in the yard with the gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Investigations into the incident are ongoing. In business, Michael Lee Chin has vehemently denied rumors of a potential sale of his majority share ownership in the National Commercial Bank, NCB. In an interview, Leachin stated that NCB remains a patriotic investment for him and emphasized his commitment to the bank and its shareholders. He clarified that he sold just over 1% of his shares, which he considered a normal part of his investment activities. Leachin highlighted his pride in the success of NCB, which he turned around to become the most profitable and largest financial institution in Jamaica and one of the largest in the Caribbean. He dismissed speculation that he is offloading assets due to an anticipated economic downturn, citing personal reasons and ongoing litigation in the Dominican Republic as the driving factors behind the sale of certain assets. And in sports, the Reggae Boys were defeated by Jordan 2-1 in their international friendly in Austria this morning. Corey Burke gave the Reggae Boys the lead from the penalty spot in the 39th minute, but second half goals in the 56th and the 63rd minute completed the comeback, leaving Jamaica still in search of a win under head coach Amir Hallgrimsson. The game capped off the Reggae Boys' pre-Gold Cup camp. The team will depart for Chicago to prepare for their Gold Cup opener against the United States on Saturday. And that is it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment, and sharing the video with your family and friends. Until next time, walk good, my friends.